Welcome back, everybody. This is Runnin' Vegas podcast. I am your host for today, Rodrigo, and I'm actually with my good co-host for the day, a good partner, Mac team member, great friend of mine, Travis. Thank you so much for being with here today, man. I really appreciate your time.
Yeah, absolutely. Good to be back on a second one. So
Yeah,
absolutely.
It gets easier as we progress, and it gets a little more fun every single time, man. So
Yeah, exactly. Feeling a little bit more relaxed about it?
Oh, I definitely feel more relaxed about it. I don't even think about this anymore. It's just another Thursday for me, man.
Exactly.
But thank you again for coming out. There's a lot of things to talk about, a lot of exciting things here in Vegas right now. But especially, man, we've started the second quarter of the year. Weather is getting much better now. I see that it still gets a little cold, closer to nighttime, but I am enjoying this 80-degree weather. How are things for you? How are things going now? The second quarter started. Now spring has started. It's typically a busy time for us realtors. So let's give me a little breakdown of what's going on in your life, in your business. How is everything?
Well, we know it's springtime now is when the most activity is going to end up picking up, right? More buyers, more sellers out there. We're already slowly but surely seeing more inventory hit the market. Great options for buyers and great options for sellers. Now that might have been waiting on the sidelines over the last year. So activity is picking up. We're in April, which is even a 2-week period that really is supposedly the most ideal for buyers or sellers. In between the 14th to the 25th or so. But more buyers coming back in, a lot more positive signs for this year, and the first quarter is just about up. So it's been busy, and now we've got an extra hour in the day, right? To show more homes.
No, I agree. It seems like a lot of people are getting off the fence now. They're just continuing with their regular lifestyles. I'm seeing a lot of buyers coming out, just getting really competitive for buyers again. I don't want to say this, but I feel like we are now officially in a seller's market. Me and John kind of discussed that a bit last podcast. But yeah, I've been working with some buyers, man. Definitely a lot of people have been reaching out, been doing a ton of showings in the last week. And I'm writing offers, and I'm going against a lot of other offers. I see a lot of listings. We ran an offer on a listing that had 11 offers. We didn't get chosen, by the way. But
you wrote an offer, right? So that's
So we're definitely seeing. I've been noticing the market pickup. It's all good things. I'm really happy. I'm really excited for all the changes coming up right now. But what are some of the trends that you're noticing right now, aside from real estate, just in regular life alone? I know you mentioned you're going out to the park, getting your steps up, focus on health. So
definitely trying to be a little bit more active. I used to do quite a bit of cycling, still try to, at least I go to Peloton at home, so try to get that in. I feel a little bit more motivated in the afternoon with the sun still up and trying to get some activity in, whether it's walking around, going for a jog, just kind of clearing in my head, right? It's been again, this is an emotional business, so just kind of at the end of the day, having that time to yourself, whether it's a quick walk, a quick jog, quick cycle, a breath of fresh air outside, because we're in and out of homes all the day, or at least all day, and we get the opportunity to work outside a lot, not just being stuck in a cubicle, right? So definitely adding a couple other I would say bits and pieces to my schedule throughout the day, making it fun, really enjoying the heat at the moment. And ready for maybe a little bit of the beach in California one of these days.
Oh, that sounds fantastic. And shout out to our fears leader, John. He is not with us today. But hey, props to you for letting us run this. I don't know if it's a high risk decision here, but we're gonna find out.
We're taking over. Right?
We're taking over. Hey, John, just stay. He's actually traveling right now. Just keep on traveling, John. We're holding the fort down. But I agree with you. As the market heats up, to me, I try to explain to all of my clients right now, it seems like the sales year finally started here within the last 2 weeks. I'm getting, calls from sellers, a lot of more calls from buyers. It seems like people are motivated to make a move, make a decision now, even though interest rates have remained fairly the same. They keep fluctuating up and down. I feel like, I don't want to say that it's, we talk about this every day. I don't want to say that it's the interest rates lowering that are motivating people right now to go out and buy or sell. So it seems like, the year has finally started now, and you're right, the weather is better. I don't want that summer heat just yet, but it seems like it's been a long winter, right?
Yeah, it has, and now we're seeing that excitement, right? Buyers that we were talking about as sellers, a year ago, throughout the last year, we can now be excited for them because they had a plan in mind. Until the interest rates went up a little bit, there was excitement, maybe a change of lifestyle, growth in the family, one or two other additions, any type of lifestyle changes where they were either preparing to buy or sell. And yes, the interest rates did kind of hinder that opportunity.
Yeah.
We're starting to see that opportunity open back up now. And we can be excited for those prospects that we can show them more options. And even if the interest rates are a little higher, now we know that they were motivated a year ago. If that opportunity to get into their ideal home happens right now, or potentially their first home or dream home, now they might look at taking that shot.
Yeah, for sure. Those are good points. And going back to what you mentioned about healthcare, taking care of yourself first, with all the business popping up, I'm grateful. It's exciting. My day is getting longer. But I do agree that it is important to always take a step back, check on yourself, make sure you're getting your physical workout in, make sure you're doing some sort of reading, meditation, taking care of that inner self, right? That way we can show up the best possible for our clients.
Yeah,
because it does get very, very overwhelming nowadays. Now that, I'm sure you are too, dealing with multiple clients per day. They're reaching out on the weekends, so, we're always accommodating clients. Yeah.
The minute we see that market change, now you're going to have a lot more people interacting with you and asking a lot more questions, important questions, because people are going to start making moves quicker.
Yeah.
And springtime into summertime should be pretty stable, and like I mentioned earlier, a lot more healthier. So we want to be in a positive mood, help those clients, and that kind of reflects in how we do business from keeping ourselves healthy at the same time. So going into summer, I'm excited for it, and everybody else should be.
Awesome. Yeah, that's some good feedback, man. Well, we appreciate your comments here. But yeah, enough about real estate. We will circle back into that a little bit later. But let's talk about some fun things. Let's talk about some fun things in Vegas. There's a lot coming up, like we mentioned, as the weather gets better. A lot of activities. One of the main ones that I was not personally very aware of, but my boy Travis here mentioned, is the tour of Summerlin. You've kind of mentioned that multiple times. I know you're active on riding the Peloton, and I'm sure you ride outside. So, but that seems to be going on not this weekend, but next Saturday, April 20th.
It should be busy. I mean, I know that I've been cycling out there when the tour, if we want to be more French, we can say the Tour de Summerlin.
Oh, there we go. I like that.
But certainly seen it. You obviously got 3 different levels. You got I believe it's like an 80, a 40, and a 20 mile that you can do. So it's always busy. We know it's just such a beautiful area to get out and ride in, great temperatures. I actually miss living on that side of town just because it was so easy to get on my bike and ride up to Red Rock and seeing everybody else. Even if you don't know anybody else, now you can basically tag along with a group. That now pushes you to ride a little harder, a little faster. Now it gets that competition going.
Right.
But it's a really cool event that they put on, and it's going to be happening next weekend. So
next weekend, yeah, it's very exciting. It seems like they've been doing that for 22 years now, 22nd year running. So please plan accordingly, as that will start and end in downtown Summerlin. So yeah, plan accordingly. Not this Saturday, next Saturday. But that's exciting. I feel like the cyclist community, biking community, is very similar to the running community. They're always welcoming. They're always kind of pushing to, see each other's best. It's a great community to be part of.
Yeah, they are. And especially in Summerlin too, now they kind of creating a little bit more infrastructure for both runners and cyclists, and all these passes, or at least paths that they're just trying to create. So at least keeping the cyclists and the runners off the main road, but in between the trails, downtown Summerlin area, it's just becoming a lot more, I would say, integrated with user-friendly walking, cycling, running paths. And it's pretty neat to see. There's not too many other areas in Vegas or Henderson that have that mobility around town, regardless of your means of transportation.
That's awesome. Yeah, that is neat to see. And with that in mind, this past weekend was the Mount Charleston full marathon and half marathon. So shout out to anybody that was out there. It's a beautiful scenic route there, running down the mountain, mostly a downhill race. It's the opportunity to get a faster time. So yeah, shout out to anybody cycling, running, just staying active, taking care of yourself. Yeah, it's important. So with that in mind, let's stay on topic of Summerlin. I know me and John have mentioned this, but Hollywood 2.0 in Summerlin, it seems like they got a green light to make that happen. More and more I hear about it, but it's supposed to be a 1.8 billion project here. It'll provide over 10,000 jobs, and it's saying that it's backed up by the Howard Hughes Corporation. So that's going to be exciting here in Summerlin. There's a lot of Summerlin growth, right?
Absolutely, there is, and I know that there's that relationship between Howard Hughes and Sony Pictures to establish this business here, and it's going to be huge. The traffic is certainly a concern that a lot of people have brought up, whether it's media, news articles that I've seen and read. People are concerned about the traffic that it will bring, and not just local traffic, but now bringing in even more people from outside, those that I suppose were in Hollywood and now may need to move to Vegas.
Yeah.
So it's a big step. It's an amazing thing to see, and a huge project, huge undertaking. But it's pretty neat to know that's coming to Vegas.
Yeah, it is pretty neat. It's just a lot of growth, but I mean, I'll take it all. More famous people, more actors, more, celebrities, athletes. It's just going to gain the value of our city here. So it's going to be exciting. And I promise this is the last thing on Summerlin, but fitness on the lawn at downtown Summerlin. It started in last week, April 2nd, and it runs through September of this year, every Tuesday, every first Tuesday of the month, actually. So they're doing a fitness related activity on the lawn in downtown Summerlin. This previous one was yoga on the lawn, but I believe they're going to do like Pilates, CrossFit style workouts. They're going to have a good variety of that. So if you're looking to stay active here within the community, the MAC team is usually one of our members, if not all. We're usually out there too. If you think about taking advantage of that, let us know. We'll most, gladly meet up with you, have a great workout. But that lawn, man, it's usually, I think, about 7 p.m. It's a great time. And you got the mountains in the back. So it's a beautiful thing to do.
Stunning environment, easy enough to get to right off the highway. And if you want something to eat or drink afterwards, it's right there.
Oh, that's a lot of drinking and eating options for sure.
Get your fitness in first. Now just go and kind of indulge in the goodness.
Then do what you want. I agree. As long as you worked out for the day, you are allowed to do as you please. So that's always my my rule of thumb there. And as long as I worked out, 30 desserts, 2 Cheesecake Factory items, keep them coming. I do not worry.
Hey, everything in moderation, right?
What is moderation, right? No. So with that in mind, let's shift things up a little bit, kind of heading towards downtown. So Area 15, I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I'm not sure if you've ever been, I'm sure you've been to Area 15, right? Checked out all the amenities there.
Yeah, briefly. I know that there's going to be some additions to it, if I'm not mistaken. Is that right?
Yeah, it seems like Area 15 is expanding, actually. So it's going to be Area 15 District. They're adding about 20 acres that will include the Horror Unleashed from Universal Studios. So it's supposed to be like a horror or what would you call it?
Like a scary theme?
Oh, scary theme yearly theme park. It'll be opened up year round. So they have a big project going on down there. It seems like they're already separated the land and they're setting out the foundation. So I think it's going to be legit. It's going to happen, and I think we need that here in Vegas a little bit. Besides the casinos and the sports and the entertainment, something for the whole family to enjoy,
Yeah.
So that'll be fantastic. But no, so there is a distillery in Area 15. It's called Lost Spirits Distillery. It's a great experience there. So it's not only a distillery they provide, you can go in there, do like a scavenger hunt. They have different rooms, fun rooms. They have actors roaming around the entire place. It's really a good experience. But that seems to be closing at the end of the month. So I did want to bring it up. If you have not checked out Lost Spirits Distillery at Area 15, I encourage you to check it out before it closes at the end of the month here. It's been described as the Willy Wonka of booze and the Disneyland of liquor. So please, Uber there, because it is quite the experience, and that way you can get home safe. But yeah, shout out to Area 15 for, bringing in more entertainment into town.
Yeah, and I think we're now seeing Vegas maybe become a little bit more or a lot more family orientated, right? When you bring your kids in, you are looking for more to do, not just on the strip, but off the strip. And that initial the interest of casinos and coming in to gamble is changing too, even if not with kids, but the younger generation is looking for different forms of entertainment. That's why a couple of years back when they had brought in beach clubs as entertainment, because those that were staying in the hotel are transitioning from casinos to other forms of entertainment. And obviously the hotels have to provide for that change, and they have to adapt and find new ways of generating interest. So
I agree. I like that we're getting more family oriented. But yeah, I mean, I'm actually working with a buyer now. She's relocating from Illinois. But she told me, hey, Rodrigo, honestly, when people mention Vegas to me, she thought it was the Strip. That's it. Strip and casinos, hotels. That's it. That's all. So it's funny how there's still a ton of people that only recognize Vegas as just that, So I'm glad that they are, we're going outside the box there. So it's important. Yeah,
it is. And there's a lot of other projects coming along too.
Yeah, a lot more to even mention. So we won't get into all of that today. But, shifting a little bit again. Golden Knights. What's going on with the Golden Knights, man? Has it been a good season? Has it been a bad season?
They had a cracking year to the start of the season, that's for sure. I think they had something like 12, 13, 14, 15 games win streak.
Wow.
And then it kind of dropped off. I think that excitement was leveling out. And then they dropped off and lost a couple games, but they seem to always have a really good on-the-road type of game. Which at home they need to come back and kind of collect themselves.
Yeah.
They seem like they need to reorganize themselves, but I feel like now they're picking it back up. They dropped. They're now fourth in the conference, or division, eighth in the conference, and 14th in the league. So they were about 20th about a week ago. So they're bringing it back up. Yeah.
Okay, good. I did see that there's only like 3 to 4 games left in the season. So it's exciting. It seems like we're pretty locked in for a playoff run, but it will be important to finish off the season strong. And yeah, I mean, I don't blame it. I feel like ever since the Knights been the Knights, they've always been a good road team. Seems like when they come back home is kind of when things shuffle a little bit, but I can see why. There's usually a ton of fans that are not Golden Knights fans here in our house, at the Fortress. So it's never truly a home game. Because you do have so many of the opposite team fans here in town. They love to come to Vegas, right? So.
Even internationally, I know when the team first started out, there was a big kind of collective following to the team. I don't know whether it's just because Vegas is the entertainment capital of the world, and there was such a following, so many international travelers that, hey, we now got an amazing sports team that's coming, doing well. Now we've won the Stanley Cup. Hopefully we can go for the two-peat and get the Stanley Cup again. But it really does have not just a domestic but international following that I don't think a lot of people recognize. So it's pretty cool.
I hear you. Well, I do hope we get a two-peat. It'll be exciting. Definitely everybody listening, go root for the Knights. I know tomorrow, Friday, April 12th, we have a home game here. So make all the last games of the season count right now. Let's go support our team. That's good. Well, now I guess, should we dive back a little bit into real estate again, man?
Yeah, absolutely. There's always interesting things going on, so always more to learn.
I know you've been working with a new construction buyer or a client that's interested in new construction, and amidst of all the changes and the settlement talk and the NAR talk, the first thing that kind of, makes me curious is whether new construction builders will continue to offer these incentives. Will the co-ops change, as far as buyer's commission? Can you tell us a little? I know you've been kind of going in and out of that, of some of the sales offices here this week. So have you heard anything differently? Has it just kind of been the same, or?
I suppose, until we have an initial change or the final change coming from NAR, it's still, all kind of goes as it is. If you're locked in with a client for whether it's a plot of land, building a new property, the several new construction or builders that I had spoken with are like, hey, as far as we know, it's going to stay the same regarding a co-op and regarding, our fiduciary duties to one another, right?
Okay.
They always respect the realtors, and we should do the same for them. They are the experts on their product,
right,
new construction wise, and they see the benefit of us bringing clients who want to look at those properties, really make sure that they've sought out their options and focus on exactly what they want to get. So no changes as of yet. Nothing else more detailed when it comes to what's going to happen in July. I guess they'll probably also limit the information that they have right now.
Yeah.
We don't want to cause any concern, even if it's for a benefit for everybody, clients in particular, prospects. Nothing else as regarding the changes. It's all systems go as it always has been for the last couple of years.
Yeah. No, that seems fair, right? Let's not get ahead of ourselves. Keep things simple, easy. Let's focus on what really matters, which is the client, the buyers. Let's just help them make the best decisions,
Yeah.
I do wonder, I had a new construction closing the last quarter of last year, and the incentives were pretty good, so I wonder if incentives will change now that the market's picking up, now that we're spring heading into summer, now that kind of the busier time of the year is going on. I wonder if the incentives will fluctuate on how generous these builders are being. So definitely for all the agents out there, keep that in mind. As the year continues to progress, be on the lookout for, hey, are they offering that buyer rate one buy down, or are they offering any money towards upgrades?
Exactly, or closing costs too.
Yeah.
There's one of the builders had mentioned that they would contribute $15,000 towards a 2-1 buy down, which certainly benefits the buyer up front for less of a mortgage payment. Then again, closing costs, as well as making sure that they give suggested, if they're not already in-house lenders, but suggested lenders like we can do, here's your options, that'll give you all the best decisions for the interest rate and I suppose estimated closing costs. And now the buyer has the most informed decision to make.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
It's true. And, keep it in mind, speaking about the builders and the new construction, they do a really good job marketing, man. Every time I drive home, besides, maybe the gas stations on the way home, I always see advertisement. Hey, turn left for this new community, new builds coming in. They do a really good job navigating people into the sales offices, into the sales community. So they get a lot of traffic. I know a lot of my clients or the people that I work with, past clients, they tell me, oh, Rodrigo, I was at a new construction sales office this weekend. I'm like, man, why didn't you call me? I would have walked in there with you. But I know me and you have been kind of discussing how important it is to be, as a buyer, be represented by a real estate agent, even when you're buying new construction homes. So what are your thoughts on that?
Well, we got to remember that the new construction or new built homes always have their own best interests in mind. It's not that they don't want to help us out or our clients either, but we have brought our client for a specific reason. They were looking in the area. They wanted to make sure that they're in the right location, find the right home, explore all those options. And I feel like when it comes to that relationship between us and the new builder, we need to make sure that we're doing this with the right intention.
Right.
So we just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, and that the buyer is the ultimate goal of getting them into the right home. So,
Right. No, I agree. I agree. Always looking out for the party's best interest, right? And new construction, as much as, maybe you're not necessarily competing against 11 offers to get the home, and you are getting a brand new property. It is important to, it's still a very complex sale. It's still a very complex transaction. From transferring the titles to meeting deadlines to making sure the financing is there, and I've always had a good time working with the sales reps for builders, but I do believe being as a buyer, being represented by an agent outside of the builder's sales team, it's very important, right?
Yeah, absolutely. There is, right. We have a duty to our buyer to make sure that we are the agent communicating with the new build, or at least the new build agent. And now we are the ones making sure that we're on the right timelines. Hey, are there any last minute adjustments? We're going to communicate that first, right? Our clients don't always have the opportunity to pick up the phone. And even if they did, they'll probably be calling us saying, hey, the agent called me. What are your thoughts on this and that? Yes. So we communicate with their authority to the new build, keeping things in line, on track per the contract and what was initially agreed to. So that's of extreme importance to always make sure that you are going in with an experienced and licensed real estate agent and a professional that's going to keep to those guidelines. For sure.
And it's usually a long process, right? Because new construction can take anywhere from 8 months to over a year. From picking, getting the home to actually it being done and you getting the keys. So a lot of things can come up during that time, and it's important to have something to reference back into. I agree. As things come up, they'll reach out to us, and we'll be able to kind of guide them, educate them on how to keep things moving forward best.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if any listeners are considering new construction, definitely reach out to Travis. He does specialize in new construction, or to anybody in the team would be more than happy to help out. So and as we wrap things up, Travis, do want to let listeners know of two very important events coming up this month. First, kind of late into the month, April 27th, we do have a yoga on the lawn at Mesa Park here in Summerlin again. It will be hosted by Francesca. She is one of our MAC team members here. So I believe it starts right at 9 a.m., right before it gets too hot for the day. So if you have thought, and it is free, and she's a very good yoga instructor as well. So if you have ever considered trying yoga, want to just get outside, want to, have a reason just to go to the park, please come out at 9 a.m. April 27th at Mesa Park. And another cool thing I'll be doing that's actually this weekend. It's the 15th annual Race for Hope. It actually returns to Town Square this April 13th. It's a 3K race, and it's in recognition of Autism Acceptance Month. So if you do have some time, it will be this Saturday. I believe it starts at 8 a.m. at the Town Square Mall. It's supposed to be a nice, neat run. It's going to be fun for a lot of the kids. So if you have some time this weekend, please come out. If not, you can donate online. So maybe if you don't want to run, donate some money.
Yeah, it's for a great cause. So good on you to make sure that's something on the schedule.
Oh yeah. A lot of people just come out with their dogs, family, keep it very easy. So it's a lot of people just walk it. So
yeah, exactly. It's fun. There's some interaction, right? Something brings the community together for a fantastic reason.
Yes, sir. Yeah. Well, awesome, Travis. Well, I do appreciate your time today. Thank you for joining me. Thank you guys, all the listeners out there, for tuning in to Run in Vegas podcast. We will see you next week.